Hello, I'm Samantha Gunardhana from Monash University. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely impacted Southeast Asia's micro, small and medium enterprises. And such enterprises are vital for employment and economic growth in the region, especially for women. This study aimed to uncover the gendered outcomes of policy responses in Indonesia, the Philippines and Vietnam from April 2020 to March 2022. The study was supported by Investing in Women, an initiative of the Australian government and led by Monash University. Our aim was to fill current knowledge gaps for this topic to inform future interventions that strengthen broad-based economic recovery. We conducted 1,155 surveys, 58 interviews and 18 focus group discussions to examine the different experiences of men and women. We found that the impact of the pandemic on women-led and owned and men-led and owned enterprises was far-reaching and impacted everyone. However, there were some interesting findings on gender. First, in some cases, women faced a higher incidence of different obstacles than men, and ongoing challenges are more common among women-led and owned enterprises in the Philippines and Vietnam. Second, governments in the three countries offered significant policy support to micro, small and medium enterprises. However, there were wide gaps in the awareness of government support measures, which was more pronounced among women-led owned enterprises. Third, the policy measures themselves were gender blind and only a handful of the policy responses targeted women. Unfortunately, gender responsiveness in entrepreneurial policy was not seen as a priority during the pandemic. And despite an existing framework for gender mainstreaming in all three countries, there was minimal consultation about policy responses. And the lack of gender or sex disaggregated data was seen as an important limitation to gender analysis and gender-informed policymaking, particularly for those who are working within government policymaking institutions. Finally, among the top 4 most needed areas of policy support identified by participants, the 2 most common to all of the 3 countries was payment deferrals and a reduction or exemption of taxes and fees. Notably, the gender-responsive policy of more supportive and accessible childcare was among the top 4 priorities only in Vietnam. Our report contains a set of policy recommendations for all 3 countries. But for now, I'll hand over to my local research partners to give a more detailed account of their findings and policy recommendations. Thank you.